What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another Reddit reading video. Today's style is going to be a little bit different just because I wanted to see what it's like to use Streamlabs, and I just found this sub called r/unpopular opinion, and it seemed kind of cool, so I want to see what it's about. Some of them, I clicked on them. I tried to check a few out just to make sure it's a legit sub and it's not some weird thing going on. So pretty much it's got a burning unpopular opinion you want to share, spark some discussion. Democracy is useless if the majority of the country is uneducated. Just look at some countries like Brazil, South Africa, etc. Of course people will vote for idiots that have the same way of thinking as them, and it is stupid. This is my opinion, and many parts of the world are not only destroying the planet, but are also threatening the stability of the global peace. That's the gist of it. I guess he's saying dumb people vote for people that... Well, I already read this top comment, so let me read this to you. Plato already wrote about this. Uneducated people vote for tyrants because they appeal to emotions. Fear, anger, hate, the dark side happened in his time and has been happening ever since. So pretty much, people that aren't smart vote for people that invoke their emotions. There's people that speak and there's people that listen. And then if everyone's a dumb listener, they might listen to the dumb speakers. Just because, things that make people mad really invoke people to do stuff. So if someone tries to fearmonger, people are probably gonna do something if they're oh my god. I kind of get where he's coming from, even though it's kind of rude to call Brazil and South Africa dumb. But Reddit culture is cringy and freaking annoying. The "thank you kind stranger" junk, the comment threads that build off some reference or pun everywhere adds to some kind of variation, the replies that are just a subreddit name like r/rare insults and r/whoosh, also freaking annoying. It's like watching poorly socialized people attempt to make some kind of cool kids club. I like to add to the point of Gerard NB brought up Reddit's attachments to memes saying, "That's far too long," which end up making them unfunny, namely oof, yikes, and lay, doggo, and pupper fall there too. But they weren't funny to begin with. I kind of get what he means, because before I kind of thought it was funny, but I think it just it's gotten too far to where too many people do it. And I think it's kind of like memes. It's the more you see it, the less funny it is. So now that those have been in, normal Reddit jargon for so long, they're just kind of you really saying that? Especially lay, I don't even know how to explain it anymore. Lay is 2008. Lay happy, it's just ugh. But oof is still I don't think anything. Oof sounds normal still. Being proud of your race is lame because you have no choice of which race you are. People should be proud of their individual accomplishments instead of whatever they got at birth. My first assumption when someone is proud of their race is that they haven't done anything with their life and have to latch on the success of other people who look like them. Without reading his edits, I kind of agree with this, and then semi don't agree with it, only because you should still be allowed to be proud of where you come from. That's the same thing as being kind of a patriot or whatever. For your country, you can be proud to be an American, or from whatever country you're from. You should be able to be proud, but I don't think being proud of your race or being proud where you're from, or being proud that you're tall is those aren't things that are lame. It's just you're allowed to do that. I don't get why this guy's so upset. But then I do get when people are overly proud about it. So you're just this and that is because me and where I'm from, and oh, whoa, buddy, whoa. If you're defining your entire self by what came free to you, then you're probably not very interesting or very deep. But let me see what the top comments. Likewise, being ashamed is equally as stupid. Yeah, but that also means there shouldn't be people hating on race, because what's really lame is not liking someone because of where they came from or what their skin color is or what their whatever is. Something that they couldn't help that they were born with. A bad teacher has a worse influence on society than a drug dealer. Okay, first of all, I have here's my r/unpopular opinion. I think all drugs should be legal. If you want to do, crack and heroin, I think we should get all those people off the streets, put them in some, clean place like they do in the Nordic countries or whatever, and get them away from the kids, and get their needles away from the streets where kids are trying to play to, and let them do that in somewhere where they're safe and they're not, going on some kind of meth rage on someone, and get that off the streets, get it out of the public, Just do that. Yes, it's irresponsible, but alcohol is a drug, and you let people do that. I think Like, if someone wants to endanger themselves, let them endanger themselves, and that's why they should be able to do it, by themselves. But I don't think no one should be able to endanger someone else. That's where I think it's wrong. Out of my own, out of my own rant, this guy is saying a bad teacher has a worse influence on society than a drug dealer. And I agree with this only because teachers are the first form of like authority that you meet in your life, and like getting one that is terrible can really teach you to like hate authority. And I think that's where like a lot of that hating authority comes from. But let me see what this guy's point is. A bad teacher can make hundreds of people hate a subject or even school for their whole life. This means an average drug dealer has bad influences on a society on their clients. If we compare individual one teacher and one drug dealer, it's debatable if having a bad influence on the educational and professional life of hundreds of children is worse than not selling drugs to a smaller fraction of people. I think it is. Furthermore, a child giving up school while young because of a teacher is way more likely to die young or go to jail or even become a drug dealer, which is quite ironic here. Because if a bad teacher caused only one drug dealer, he has had a worse influence than a drug dealer, for those of who will say that the drug dealers actually kill people when teachers don't. A lot of people turn to drugs, excluding medical, in indirect consequence of quitting school, which is not to blame only on teachers, but they should partake in the blame, and a huge one is in some class. Okay, I think this guy has a really good point. Like, this is like that. What he said makes perfect sense. I think like a drug dealer has less of an effect on than on society than a teacher, only because it's just like if people want drugs, they're gonna get drugs. We're humans. We're smart. We're cunning. We're not dogs that you can just corral all of us and say don't do that and spank us, and we're not gonna do it. If someone has no arms and no legs, they want drugs, they will scoot until they find drugs. You cannot keep a human from doing something that they want to do. All you can do is educate them and lead them in a right direction. So that's where the teachers come in. And if they're not doing that, then what's gonna happen is people are gonna be like worse and worse off in society. But I'm not saying that, teachers are bad. Thank God for some of the teachers I've met are so like, they've taught me so much. And weirdly saying, the only class I ever failed in high school, that teacher taught me some of the most valuable things that I have ever learned in school. And one of them was it's okay to lie, and not like, lie on stuff. But she's saying, what she was telling me about like creative writing is like pretty much just come up with a big lie, and just like small tips like that you don't think about when you're a kid that just help you. And like she really helped me with like stage presence, like when I'm trying to like act or do this or do that and stuff like that. She like just showed so many cool things. And the weird thing is she was an English teacher. She wasn't like a performing arts teacher. But yeah, I failed her class, but learned some cool stuff. Let's see what this guy has to say in the comments. Kids spend many hours of the most important stages of life with teachers. Doubtless, it makes a huge impact on their growth. The thing is, society doesn't put enough importance on teachers, so basically anyone can become an elementary teacher. It's even more so with parents. That's a really good point. I think that instead of someone sitting in their room like once a year or twice a year, just to when they know they're gonna come, so they like be nice, they should have recordings in every classroom. And there should be like a department that can tune into any class whenever they want, and this is what they have to do just to make sure the teachers are doing what they're supposed to be doing and not like abusing their power as a teacher. But yeah, well, that one set me on a big rant. These last two really got me ranting, I guess. I honestly couldn't care less about PewDiePie or any aspect of his life. This is probably not the one for me because I love PewDiePie. Right now, Reddit is blowing up about PewDiePie's wedding and subscriber count, and I genuinely couldn't care any less. A few years back when I was like 10, I enjoyed a few of his videos, but never understood why he had so many subscribers and fans. The guy really isn't very funny once you're older than 12. I understand a lot of people rising up during the T-Series debacle, but I don't understand why anyone still cares. I don't think his wedding should be any form of news at all, but very much the opposite. I never really understood why people care so much about PewDiePie's everyday life, and I don't think I ever will. The thing is, this person hasn't been following his entire life since they were a kid. They just watched a few videos. Imagine if you know what the Truman Show is, like you tuned in every day to watch someone's life, and like they created for you, and you knew them on a personal level. It's not someone like Kim Kardashian or like an actor like Will Smith, someone that you just see on the big screen acting fake. This is someone is when they're sad, you get to see their sad points, and when they're happy, you get to see their happy points. When people trash them online, you see those videos and you see them react to them. This is a like someone that's big, that's a real life person, not just glitz and glamour on Instagram that you're seeing. And that's why I think so many people connect with PewDiePie, is because he doesn't sugarcoat stuff like that. Like he'll show you the real him. Like people will game. Like he started out as a gamer, but what he was saying is he was like, I'm faking being happy, and a majority of people are faking being happy. But the thing is, that's their source of income, and people didn't want to be real about that. But PewDiePie is no like stranger to being real. Like he's been called out, he's had to apologize, he had to do all this and that, and through it all, he's still stuck and made videos almost every single day for people to watch. And I think that's why people just tune in to his life so well and really care about what he's doing. But this is obviously an unpopular opinion. A few years back when I was 10, that make me feel old. Oh god. But yeah, I remember watching him when I was young, and I'm just like, I don't know. I just when you were a kid and he was doing videos for kids, like that's different. Today he doesn't do videos for kids. He like does review. He does book reviews. Like what do you mean it's for 12-year-olds? Back then he was like playing Happy Wheels and screaming. All right. Moving on from that. Small penis jokes count as body shaming and are harmful. That's a good point. I'm a female, but I dislike how acceptable it is to make jokes about small penises or degrade other people by saying they must be compensating and whatnot. I think it's harmful, and should be frowned upon just as other types of body shaming. Just because I drive an unnecessary large SUV doesn't mean I have a small penis. I had a small penis before the SUV. Literally, the first thing is a joke. Like I get what she's saying, but like obviously I don't think like for some reason I just don't take body shaming as like such a big deal as other people. I think if someone is joking, then the reason why it's a joke is because it's absurd. Like if you're taking it serious, then like obviously there might be something wrong with you. But that's just me. Making fun of someone's height is way worse than making fun of someone's weight. I agree with that 100%. Making fun of someone's height is like making fun of someone's skin color. Or it's like making fun of someone's, if they have a deformity. Or making fun of someone's, it's like, I don't know, their eye color, I don't know, something stupid, because it's something that they can't help. If you want to make fun of someone's weight, they could just say, wait a minute, I don't want this weight anymore, and they could just not have to live with it if they try hard enough. But someone's height or someone's skin color or whatever, they can't just say, wait a minute, I don't want to live with this. Literally, they have to live with that for the rest of their life and think about it in the back of their mind. Dog obsessed culture is generally starting to be annoying and irritating. Don't get me wrong on this, I love dogs, but that obsession that having one and showing to the world you have is freaking annoying and irritating. That doggo thing is also stupid. I don't do the doggo thing, but I disagree with this only because I feel like a lot of these people may be a lot older than me and don't understand. But this is like, I don't know. People aren't having as many kids as before. There's no need to have that many kids. There's no need to like litter the world with 20 kids anymore. There's like, we're not in that state of war and depression and sickness. So like a lot of us younger people, we just like have dogs and take care of them. And like, I don't care, like have a dog. I agree. I'm honestly ready for raccoon culture to take over. Okay, no, this guy is like thinking way forward. That's a real guy. Smart guy. We should have free public gyms, like how we have free public libraries. I think a public I was gonna say a public gym would be better than a public library, but I really take that back. There's no way that's better. But that is a really good idea. But then a lot of gyms would be out of business. The only thing is, I had a free public gym growing up because my neighborhood has always had a public gym in it. I get that, and now that I don't live with my parents, like I don't live in like a house, I live in like an apartments now. I still have a public gym there for us, well, private for our neighborhood, but I have yet to run into that problem, so it doesn't affect me. Cigarettes should be illegal. I disagree with that big time. Or at least should be illegal to smoke outside your own property. I'm sick of people seeing just chuck their cigarette butts in the concrete and stemming them out and moving on. Okay, that actually is a lot better point. I also don't think it's fair to have breath second-hand smoke while walking around my city. I literally can't walk 10 meters. This is a good point because like whenever I have to pass someone that has a cigarette, I have to like be dramatic and walk really far because I have asthma, and that cigarette will choke me up for a while. And like it's not like, oh, I don't like the smell. No, it closes my throat and my chest starts to like feel like there's a fire in it. This is like, I don't know. I think that's just why maybe they should have more secluded smoking areas or drug areas and just let everyone do their drugs there. Like if you want to smoke cigarettes and let the guy do heroin back there and just have one big area for people to do their drugs, you can drink your alcohol, do all that there. And like don't bring that out on the streets where people are trying to live and survive. And that pollution is another good reason why that should be like that. I know my opinion is also very unpopular. That's my unpopular opinion for the day. There should be a separate Olympics where players can take as many drugs as they want. Oh my goodness, this guy, no, that is a great idea. It would be cool to see what the true limits of human strength and endurance are. And you know what? So many of like the Chinese and Russian people are on drugs anyways. And then the Americans have to do it like legally, which is not fair in the first place. But I don't see why you can't do drugs in the first place. Like what? Like what's so bad about that? Like people that don't want to do drugs won't have a fair chance. Okay, then they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to do it bad enough. Imagine pure strength sports with people on PCP. Okay, I wasn't thinking like that kind of drug, but that's a good point. You can do steroids, and then when you get there, PCP, you feel no pain, and then you're just like, wow, he literally just lifted 6,000 pounds. That would be cool to watch. You can't like that. I don't watch the Olympics now, but that would actually be worth watching. Like some guy that doesn't feel pain just lifting crazy weight. The word dude is gender neutral. So many times when I say the word dude in reference to girl, they go with it. I'm not a dude. I'm a girl. Yeah, that's true. Dude is gender neutral. Oh, like kind of like now the thing is boys, like me and the boys, like BOIS is gender neutral, but BOYS is like for guys. So like I'm hanging out with the boys is also girls too. Pretty sure I've called my mother dude at some point. Oh my, I wouldn't call my mother dude. Okay, let's let this be the last one right here, because I will rant about all these subjects all day. I really like this sub though, I can't lie. The glorification of weed on the site is extremely irritating. Most people on Reddit or not agree that opiates, cocaine, and even alcohol has negative effects on people in society at large. Yet, whenever some points the downsides of weed, they are immediately sworn with, it's just a plant, bro. It's weed. It's healthy. In spite of the fact that marijuana can have long-term effects on your brain, especially if you start young. Weed is arguably no different than any other drug in many respects, yet people act like it's a miracle plant or something, which is an absolutely terrible image. That is very, very agreeable for me. I'm not here to make a political statement or argue for or against the legalization of weed. That's a separate discussion in my opinion, but I think people need to do their research instead of buying into stoner propaganda every day. This is 100% correctamundo. This is 100%. I smoked weed as a kid. I don't smoke weed anymore, obviously, because I've developed asthma. But and I probably will never even try any drugs again. But this is such a good point, because you should be 100% clear about what the effects are. There are obviously long-term, like inhibition effects and erectile effects and like thought process effects. There's a lot of effects out there that people don't really like to talk about within the propaganda, but are like proven because weed has been out for so long and people have been doing tests on it for so long. People know the effects, but people would rather just say like, no, it has no effects, man. I don't think it's a coincidence that all my pothead friends are extremely lethargic and lazy. Extremely lazy. All day, every day. They don't want to do anything. That doesn't mean I love them any less than my regular non-pot smoking friends. That just means, like, obviously, there are some longer lasting effects in there. True, as a science major and weed user, I constantly annoyed by the amount of weed is a magical plant that cures everything and has no negative side effects whatsoever in the pot smoking community. Another thing I saw was I was scrolling down Facebook the other day, and one of those weed's just a plant. Weed is not as bad as cigarettes for lung cancer. I was like, yep. And then it was hemp can be used for plastic and it has good carbon and oxygen output, like carbon intake and oxygen output. And then it was saying, and it cures cancer. And I was like, you lost me. No, weed is not going to cure cancer. It might nullify some of the effects, but don't put false stuff out there for people to be like, wait a minute, weed doesn't do that, and then be off put from it. That is a terrible idea to put out lies like that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this Reddit reading video of this different style of me scrolling down a sub I have never seen. I actually really like this sub, r/unpopular opinion. It was pretty entertaining to go down. If you guys like this video style or my older video style that I have done like all the time, let me know down in the comments. This probably is like way easier. I don't know. I haven't edited it yet. Also, I'm trying to get this channel monetized. So I deleted like 130 videos or something. Where like they declined my monetization status. I think because of like the old robot videos I did when I first made this channel. So I deleted all those, and I'm gonna see like, you know, what can help that out so I can keep this channel going. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any suggestions or any thoughts, let me know down in the comments. I hope to see you next time, and goodbye, my lovelies.